I was on your website. For anybody out there, it's fredawarrington.com. And boy, the covers of your books just blew me away. Speaking of covers and art. So you started writing in the 1970s when you were in college. This has been your whole life, writing. And then you started publishing in the 1980s. And you've published over 20 books, 20 novels, which just blows my mind. Um, I know Tanith was incredibly prolific, but so were you, Freda, because that's pretty wonderful. And so I was wondering if you wanted to talk a little bit about your work, because I know when we were talking earlier, you were discussing hybrid authors, publishing with small presses. So I wanted to know if you wanted to let people know what you're up to now and what you're doing with your work, how you're transitioning in this new strange world that we have today.
Yes, the most recent thing I've done, because I mean back in the 80s and 90s, I was with the sort of major publishers like Simon Schuster, Hodder, and others, Tor, but more recent, as I've said, more recently it's been harder for some of us, and a lot of authors have kind of gone hybrid in that they're partly publishing, maybe in the mainstream, maybe with small presses, but we've now also got the option of publishing our own stuff on Kindle and other platforms. So I've been all my out of print books, I've now got onto Kindle, and the most recent of those is I wrote a big fat epic fantasy called the Dual Fire Realm in the late 90s, and I've just put that onto Kindle for the first time, so that's now available. It's the Amber Citadel is the first book in the series, and I'm also working on a new fantasy novel that's actually the very first book I had published, which was called Blackbird in Silver. That was the start of a sort of weird and wonderful sword and sorcery type strange series. And I'm finally, after decades, getting to work on what I hope will be the closing volume. And it's called A Blackbird in Crimson Flame. But it's about a character from the series that I've had stuck in my head for decades. But that will be self-published. I'm not even going near trying to get a publisher for it. That will be self-published. And then I've got other things planned. I want to bring my Dual Fire world and my Blackbird world together somehow.
Yeah, you're mentioning that the things you write are interconnected. They're interconnected world in a world. They all exist in a similar plane. Is that correct?
Yes, I think of them as although I've written in different genres, I think of everything being interconnected in my internal imaginative landscape, which, if you think about it, for everybody, it's infinite in there, isn't it? Right. So I see everything as being interconnected as if by a web, and there are in some of my books, there are little references to things that have happened in other books that you probably would only notice if you'd read everything I've written, but I know that there.
Love that. I love it when authors do that. I just love it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for coming today. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Anything I might not have covered? Anything else that you might want to share before we finish up today?
Oh, I don't know, really. I'm just really happy that you're doing this project about Tanith, because I think authors like her can be, and another one is Evangeline Walton, and authors like them are in danger of being forgotten. I also wanted to say a word about the fact that because I read so many female authors when I was young, it didn't occur to me that I didn't find out that there was a certain sexism against female authors, not just in general, but also it's particularly in science fiction fantasy. And I'm grateful I didn't find out until many years later. When I did start falling over it and coming across it, I found it extremely upsetting, disturbing. I mean, the literature output of women is so broad and so fascinating and so rich. How dare they do that to us, really? So I'm always wanting to promote people like Tanith, people like Storm Constantine, Evangeline Walton, Joy Chant,
Yeah.
and and I'm really, really happy that you're doing this project to try and keep authors like Tanith central in our memories. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's important to me. In particular, I've done quite a bit of research, and to see the struggles that women authors were dealing with when they were writing in the 80s and 90s in particular, with the sexism that existed. It's very, very real. And then to see many of these women that bridged the gap, that they created the foundation for women writers today to
Yeah.
be able to do what we're doing. It's really important, and Tanith is so important to so many people. What we're finding is that the people who know about her are really excited about this project, but we're really hoping to bring her work to a new generation as well. It has a timelessness to it that I think is just Tanith, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much again for being here today, everybody. And everybody, this is Freda Warrington. So yeah, it's just really great to speak with you. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.